Everybody, welcome to the CheezeTalk podcast. I'm your host, Brian. Tonight I'm joined by, I know him as Hot Take City 904, George.
How we doing, everybody? It's Hot Take City here.
Tonight we'll be talking, he's a Giants, Yankees, Knicks fan. I'm a Packers, Brewers, Bucks fan. So we'll delve into the football side of that, I believe, a little bit, and I'll ask him some questions about his teams. But before I get to him, I'd like to give a shout out to the Open Network for giving me the chance to podcast under their umbrella. On TikTok, they are 52 followers away from giving away an 8x10 autographed Jair Alexander photograph. So 52 more followers. George, what's up?
Not much, man. Waiting for football to start.
Can't wait. I think we all are.
Yankees doing good, you know.
Yeah. So, as a Knicks fan, what are your thoughts on the Celtics winning the championship?
Well, New York Boston is always going to be one of the biggest rivalries out there,
Right.
So, them winning, congrats, can't deny them winning. They beat the competition that was in front of them, but there was a couple of, major injuries through their playoff runs,
Right.
So you had Donovan Mitchell missed the last 2, maybe 3 games. Giannis got hurt. Halliburton got hurt the last couple of games they faced him. The Knicks missing half their roster. One big one is OG and Julius Randle. But by all means, congrats to him. Banner 18.
Yeah, I think I don't think if the Knicks beat the Celtics, I think Dallas would have beat the Knicks.
Oh, yeah.
And the one thing that drives me nuts about professional sports is the whining. Like Doncic to the referees. The times he spends whining, he could be getting down court and playing defense.
Yeah.
It's just 20 years ago, they would have Rasheed Wallace gives you the wrong look, you're getting a technical,
Yeah.
All right, let's hop to the New York Giants. What are your thoughts on Saquon going to the Eagles?
So, I mean, he's from, Philly, so I can understand why he went there, and
sure.
The thing about it is everyone's clowning him and, throwing bad comments, Yeah, am I upset he went to the Eagles? Of course, big rivalry,
Right.
But you can't blame the man. Giants haven't given him any opportunity to succeed. He's been hurt 3 years out of the 5 years, 6 years he's been with us. And the Eagles, their O-line is good. They have a good quarterback. They got some great outside weapons, So I can't blame them. Really can't. Am I upset? By all means, I am upset. Went to a rival, but
sure.
Can't be mad at him,
Yeah, that too. And not only did they lose Saquon, they lost Xavier McKinney to the Packers.
Huge loss.
No, I would be more upset over losing probably McKinney. Wouldn't you say so?
Yeah, definitely.
Kid's only like 24 years old.
Yeah, 24, 25, yeah.
To me, it almost gives me like a Charles Woodson aura, like when he came over from the Raiders.
Yeah.
The Packers. I just think that was a huge mistake, but there had to have been something behind it. Obviously, I haven't heard anything other than the fact that he liked what Jordan Love was doing. I think the defensive coordinator had something to do with it because I think he was at Alabama for a brief bit. So, yeah, I mean, it sucks for you, but I'm happy.
Of course. I mean, like I said, he's a top 5 safety, in the league last year, number-wise. I'm not saying that overall, but number-wise, he's definitely a top 5 safety in the league. And it was a huge loss to our defense, huge loss to our defense.
Absolutely. And then you guys paid Daniel Jones. And who'd you guys draft again? Did you guys draft another quarterback?
We signed Drew Lock to a 1-year contract. And then we got Tommy DeVito, the one that played 3 or 4 games last year for us when Tyrod Taylor got hurt.
Wasn't he the guy that had his mom do his laundry?
Mhm.
DeVito?
Still lives in his mom and dad's basement. Mom does his laundry.
Smart guy.
Hey,
Not everybody's in a quick hurry to get out of their parents' house, apparently.
exactly.
Looking at the Giants' schedule, how do you think they'll do this year? Like as far as how they'll finish?
So I think highest, I'm going to say about 9. Realistically, 6, 7, just like last year, 6, 7. We got a
Yeah,
lot of holes. We got a lot of holes. I mean, I'm excited about Neighbors, excited about year 2 of Hyatt, excited about year 3 of Wandale Robinson because, his
right.
first year he was hurt. Um, uh, Singletary, looking at numbers, he put up identical numbers to Barkley last year. But, talent wise is completely different by all means. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But
Um,
defense, I like it. I like our defense this year than I did last year. Yeah, we got a hole at safety. I mean, we drafted Phillips to be our safety, but I don't know if he'll start right away. But we got defense is definitely better this year than I feel like last year. Brian Burns trade, huge for that D line.
yeah.
Tibbs, Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns. We got some monsters on that line.
Yeah, you guys definitely. I mean, you lost some people, but you gained some people.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to sacrifice to, take a little, little speed bump on the way. Um, who is your favorite Giant of all time?
So honestly, I'm gonna have to say Michael Strahan. I love Eli. Eli's my guy, but Michael Strahan was probably my favorite. I wasn't around for the Lawrence Taylor show, but I was definitely there for the Strahan show.
Yeah, he had quite the presence on defense.
Yeah,
He was definitely someone to be you didn't want to mess with for sure. Yeah, Eli, people want to clown him, but he brought two championships for the Giants.
oh yeah. And the people that say it was defense, it wasn't defense. I mean, his 2 runs that he had outside his 2 runs, it wasn't good. But his 2 runs he had, playoff wise and regular season wise, they were spectacular. Nothing like it. I mean, he still holds the record for most passing yards in the playoffs, and people seem to forget that. That
Yeah,
one, the helmet catch. He got out of 5 sacks before he made that throw. That was him. It wasn't
yep,
defense.
yeah. It's crazy to think, just the clown. I mean, like I said, the way that people give him a hard time, and yet they don't think about the actual facts.
Yeah,
What he
exactly.
actually what he brought to the team. Yankees favorite Yankee player of all time,
Derek Jeter, no
Jeter,
questions asked.
the captain. What are your thoughts on the steroid era?
I mean, yeah, does it build muscle? Does it help them, get stronger? But they still got to work for it. They still got to lift weights. They still got to swing the bat. I mean, does it enhance? Of course, but anything can enhance, you know. But they still got to swing the bat, throw the ball. It's still a sport. You still got to be active in the sport.
You still
Can't
got to have
just
the coordination
yeah,
and have
you
to
can't
hit the
just sit
ball. You
there
got
and
right.
hold the bat out and the ball just goes flying off the bat. That doesn't happen.
I just think that people are getting. Don't mind the dogs upstairs barking. I apologize.
No, you're good.
People, bitching about the home run competition between McGuire and Bonds, and I mean, you can't tell me that baseball didn't know about it.
They
They
definitely
they
did.
knew about it.
They
They're
definitely
behind
did.
it.
They definitely did.
And then and now I think now that Pete Rose should be allowed into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the double standards they have are just crazy.
I mean, look at
But,
Otani. Otani threw his manager or, his translator or whatever you want to consider him under the bus so he wouldn't get in trouble. You want the honest truth?
yeah. Well, you can't tell me he didn't know what was going on and he
Yeah.
wasn't
A
betting.
man a man takes 100,000 or a million, whatever it was, out of your bank. You don't know. Come on now.
Yeah, well, he's the one that's supposed to be watching your money for you, and he's not.
Yeah,
If you're that dumb, I guess it's partly your fault as well, you know.
exactly.
Yeah, the Brewers. I mean, they're a mediocre team. I mean, they're doing good right now. They're a small market team. I mean, they're the thing I like about it now is they have a bunch of like not no-name people, but like a whole team pitching an effort. You know, you have Willie Adames and you have Yelich and you have Contreras. I mean, they're all young and they're all like they're not like a couple old guys trying to run the whole team. You know that play. They got rid of Craig Counsell. I think that was a good move, even though he was there forever. I think back to like the Prince Fielder and Ryan Braun days. Speaking of steroids, you know, Ryan Braun. But I don't know. I played baseball when I was a kid, but I don't really follow it to the point. I mean, I'll watch games if I have time to. I'll watch the playoffs because those seem to be exciting, and then obviously I'll watch some of the World Series if I stay up late enough. But the Brewers, I mean, for a small market team, they're doing decent, I think.
I mean, look at the last couple of World Series. A lot of the small market teams have been in the playoffs and in the World Series. I mean,
Yep.
Texas, they are in a rural area, they are in a larger area, but they're not one of those teams that are going to go spend 500 million on a player, you know?
Right. I'd rather use that 500 million and get 5 or 6 decent players.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's yeah, but my two sports I like to watch the most are basketball. Well, football number one, and then basketball. And speaking of
Agreed.
basketball, uh what are the Knicks missing? I know we didn't see them at full strength in the playoffs. They had Julius Randle out. Brunson played hurt a couple of times. I know that he went off in the locker room and came back like Willis Reed. You know,
Brunson
um,
is him.
yeah. What what do you think they need to get over that hump? I mean, I don't see Boston staying together that much longer. I mean, I
I
think
mean,
this year was like their last year to prove it, or else the whole project was a bust for them. You know?
the Knicks, honestly, I think they need more depth on the bench. We did run thin with a couple of injuries, so you do have to plan for that. I mean, Bogdanovich getting hurt, took a couple minutes from us. Honestly, I don't think they need to bring in any superstar. I think they need to re-sign OG, re-sign Isaiah, and run it back and see what happens at full strength. To be honest
Yeah,
with you, I can't see them bringing in a star because you have enough ballers to where they're able to move and play team ball. And then you have Julius Randle at full strength playing bully ball. That's all you need is just that one person to play the bully ball, and then the team to support them. That's
yeah,
it.
yeah. I mean, I was hoping they were going to beat the Celtics, but it didn't happen that way. Um, I just always had a grudge against the Celtics for some reason. I don't like Tatum's good, but I don't know. He just something about him I just can't stand.
I
I
think I think the problem with Tatum is they hold him to a higher standard than what he needs to be held to. To be honest
right.
with you, he
Oh
went
yeah,
through
I
the
mean
whole
people
Kobe
they're talking
training.
about like oh he's not scoring 30 points a game. But yeah, he has maybe 16 points. He has 9 rebounds, 8 assists. That's contributing to the team's win. I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
you don't have to go out there and get 50 points a game.
this past playoffs, it was all Drew Holiday and Brown. Tatum,
Yeah,
he did have a lot of hiccups this past postseason, but throughout the regular season, Tatum's been there. He's carried the team to the playoffs. Sometimes you need your team to pick you up and take you to that next level. It
yeah.
happens. It's a team sport for a reason.
Who's your all-time favorite Nick?
Um, so I haven't really been watching Knicks that long. So I'm a Melo fan, Melo and a Kobe fan. So I've been watching Melo since he was at Syracuse, the
Yeah.
Nuggets team, then the Knicks team, and then I support the Knicks, but I don't really have an all-time Knicks player.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But Melo
Sure.
is my, one of the reasons between Melo and Kobe are like the two reasons I watch basketball
Yeah.
growing up.
I remember growing up, my guy was Sean Kemp.
Yeah.
He was this is electric dunks and this is athleticism and which caught up to him later on in his career, that and drugs, but uh um what are your thoughts on the Packers? Like, what do you think of them as a team? How do you think they did last year, and what do you think of how their rebuild went last year?
So, you want a biased answer or an honest answer?
This your honest opinion?
I honestly think they do better this year than they did last year. And I also think that last year they surprised a lot of people. They surprised a lot of people. Jordan Love's technically speaking his first year starting. Um, I was impressed. Not gonna lie, I was really impressed. Their young wide receiver core stepping up and helping them out, making big time catches down the stretch. I mean, they annihilated the Cowboys in the playoffs. Let's be honest here.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
no one
mean,
expected that.
yeah, they just killed them,
Yeah.
and you know, people were doubting them when Rodgers left because they must have like a short term memory, or they just Rodgers and LaFleur's playbook don't mesh. He's been around too long, Rodgers, to where we always thought that LaFleur calls the play, and at the line of scrimmage or in the huddle, Aaron changes it. To thinking what he thinks is going to work, and it doesn't work. And then I just think we have the weapons. We didn't know going into last year's draft like what we were going to have to play with because everything with Aaron and whatnot. And this last draft, we knew what we had to play with, so we knew what we wanted to draft, and we executed. I think we did a hell of a job drafting with getting Javon Bullard. It's just him and McKinney at safety are going to be huge. I can't wait to watch that. That's going to be
McKinney's going to be big for y'all, especially in that back end of the defense. I mean, he's a ball hawk. I mean, nothing else I can say about him. He's a ball hawk.
Yeah, the last one that I can remember back there that we had that was a ball hawk was Nick Collins.
Yeah.
And his career got cut too short too, but I think that and just think of the people that ride with the mainstream crap about the Packers and like, oh, they're going to be terrible, and once we get rid of Bakhtiari's and Rodgers' contract, this is what we can do with money.
Mm-hmm.
You want to go out and get Aaron's friends, Randall Cobb and Mercedes Lewis, and granted they weren't expensive by all means, but it didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
We have 6 receivers last year. The combined salary for 1 year was less than what I can't think of his name. Alan Lazard got with the Jets.
Mm-hmm.
They're making like $8-9 million combined, and he got $11 million a year to do what? To disappear in the roster?
Yep, exactly.
So this goes to show you though, and then it comes to the point to where when their rookie contracts come up, what do? If they're all producing the way they are now, and all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, we're gonna have to figure out who we want to keep around. And
think about it this way: you won't have to sign Love because Love's fifth-year option. They're gonna give him a contract either this year or in the middle of next year. They already picked up his fifth-year option. So
I'm just saying though, there's talk around up here that there's going to be a deal done before training camp.
Yeah. So I mean, you won't have to worry about that.
But I was thinking too, it's like, well, what are we going to do with these? If we have 5 legit stud receivers, they're all going to want to get their payday. Well, before that day comes, you think about who you want and who you want to trade for maybe draft picks to get put back in a situation again, So, I mean, use them as a trade bargain instead of trying.
I mean, honestly, if they really wanted to, they could all sign smaller contracts and stay together as a group, and try to bring multiple champions to the Packers.
Yeah. I mean that's
all depends on what their mind is going,
Yeah. Depends on once they get that taste of that money, if they want to want to go for the money and disappear on the roster, or go for the get decent money and be a decent team for 6, 7, 8 years.
I mean,
Yeah,
one of the biggest reasons Tom Brady, not to bring him up, won multiple championships because he was taking smaller contracts, so they can build. I mean, he had defenses, that were top 5 defenses in the leagues while he's winning champions.
yeah. And just thinking back on the salary cap disaster the last 3, 4, 5 years with trying to keep Aaron around, and that just we saw how it was. I mean, we don't want to go back there
No,
by all
you don't
means.
want to. You don't want to.
It just
And,
cripples a team, and you get him. He's what 40 in December. He turns
yeah.
40, I think. I was saying for a long time that I think that people were walking on eggshells around him.
Oh yeah, they're nervous. I mean, they're scared to say anything wrong or do anything wrong. But Roger does it, no big deal. I mean, he's
Yeah,
like that with the Jets now.
yeah. Oh, he's not going to throw me the ball. I'm not going to get that payday down the
Yeah.
road because he's not passing me the ball. And another thing I'm glad I don't see, I miss Devontae Adams, but I don't miss Aaron being our quarterback with Devontae because the defense knew where we were going every single time.
Yeah.
Now we have like maybe 1, 2, 3 versions of Devontae at different stages in his career that who are you going to double team? You're going to double team Christian Watson. You're going to get Romeo Doubs. You're going to get Jaden Reed. I mean,
Bo Melton. I mean,
Bo
he's
Melton.
coming
And you
up
got
towards the end of the last season. He's going to be big this season.
Dontavian Wicks.
Yep.
And then you got Malik Heath.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, then you got Musgrave and Kraft.
Yeah, you got a two-headed tight end room.
And then Marshawn Lloyd, I think he's going to be our second running back out of USC.
I mean, big
He's
signing with
stud.
Josh Jacobs too.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's going to be crazy. And I think keeping A.J. Dillon, I think they're going to probably put him in. He'll get some carries, but I think he'll also play fullback, like in a blocking position, and block, help run or pass block. But I don't know. I'm looking forward to watching the Packers this year. I haven't been this excited in a while to watch them. But from what I saw from them last year and what they did in the playoffs, even though they lost, I'm excited. They're going to be a fun team to watch, I think.
Yeah. I like them this year. That's my sleeper pick, to be honest with you.
Awesome. Brings me to my question. When you hear Green Bay, what comes to mind?
Cheese.
Cheese? Okay. What's your favorite kind of cheese?
So I'm Middle Eastern. My family's originally from Lebanon, and we have an Arabic cheese that's like made with, it's like marinated in olive juice.
Okay.
I don't know the actual name of it, but phenomenal Middle Eastern cheese.
Awesome. Do they ship it worldwide?
So I mean, they do. I mean, the name of it is called halloumi.
Halloumi?
Yeah. I mean, if you walk into any Middle Eastern store, they'll definitely have it.
Awesome. I'll have to venture into stuff like that because I'm always looking to taste new cheeses. I ran into there's a cheese shop half a mile from my house, and I like spicy cheese, and they had a ghost pepper cheese, and that's really good. And then there's a place called Maplewood Meats. It's between Wausau and Green Bay, and they had a Carolina Reaper cheddar. That's really good too.
Sounds interesting.
It's hot, but then if you top it off on a burger on the grill, then it just goes so well.
Right in. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I haven't been in Green Bay my whole life. I moved up here 15 years ago. My wife is from a city called De Pere, and I'm from Madison, just south of 2.5 hours away from Green Bay. But I remember growing up and here in Green Bay, you think of like Lombardi and the stadium and the history and the championships and Reggie White and Brett Favre and Don Mikowski, and just like a whole flash that goes through your head that all the different greats and that had put on the green and gold, and thinking about now that I'm here and just tailgating and the Jets fly over my house during the before the game, and it's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, I got a couple cousins that been to Green Bay for a game, and they told me, it was a great experience, especially all the history there, and just the game itself was a great experience.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you can come up for a game and you can plan, weekend of the game, maybe take a couple extra days off, and they have a Packers Hall of Fame inside Lambeau that's like two levels, has all the history from the beginning to current. It has a pro shop that's huge. I think they're open like 364 days a year,
Wow.
so they're open year round. This little Green Bay, Wisconsin,
Yeah.
but it's definitely
I mean, looking at pictures, I love the fact that it's literally in the middle of a neighborhood. You
yeah.
got houses right there. You could literally walk outside your house and just get smacked right in the face with the stadium.
Yeah, when we were looking to buy up here, we looked at a house that was in the shadows of Lambeau, and it was kind of a smaller house. I mean, we wanted to have a family, so it wasn't for us, but we could see Lambeau. Like, we were on Lombardi Avenue, was our backyard,
Oh wow.
which is Lombardi runs right. That's the road, that 1265 Lombardi that the stadium is on. So, yeah, just a history. I mean, just you could take a stadium tour. They bring you through the tunnel where the Packers run out on the stadium, and you can take your picture out in front of the grass. You can't walk on the grass, but you can go out in the stadium, and it's pretty cool. So you think Jordan Love is him? You think he has all the tools to be a top 5 quarterback in the NFL this year?
So after 1 year, it's hard to say, but I definitely think that he can definitely produce this year as a top 10 and work his way to a top 5. I mean, 1 year, it's hard to judge. I mean, everyone's so high. Also, CJ Stroud, I mean, rookie
Yeah,
year, what I'm saying? Rookie year. Let's wait until they get 2, 3 years under their belt, and then we'll start claiming him to be, top 5 quarterback.
for sure.
But
And
I think Love definitely has more potential than a lot of people thought he would.
well, yeah, I mean, it's the same thing when Aaron was behind Brett Favre.
Yeah.
They saw talent in him out of college, and they let him progress, or improve himself for 3 4 years behind Brett Favre, and then he was gone. Then boom, it was like a simple transition. And I think the same thing with Jordan Love. I think it helped that we didn't play him right away when he got drafted. Obviously, we couldn't because we had Aaron. But you see a lot of these rookie quarterbacks that get thrown into the mix right away, and it's just their confidence is just down from day one.
Yeah.
They get thrown into a crappy situation. I don't. How do you think Caleb Williams is going to do this year, his first year?
They definitely did the right thing for him. Bringing in Keenan Allen, having DJ Moore there, drafting Roma Dooms, bringing in a running back, trying to fix up that team that they didn't do for Justin Fields. So I can see him doing better his rookie year than Justin Fields doing. Fantasy wise, he might, be up there, but actual quarterback wise, I'd say, rookies are rookies. I mean, yeah,
Right,
can you get mad at him for being a rookie? Yeah, but he's gonna make mistakes. He's gotta learn from his mistakes. That's what makes the best of the best, is learning from your mistakes.
right.
I can't see him doing too good. I say the team on average, maybe 8 wins, definitely better than the last couple of years they've had.
Sure. I uh I, I see all these weapons that he's getting to throw the ball to. I just think if their line is like anything like they were last year, he's going to be on his back quite a bit, and he
Yeah.
can't be making
It starts
passes when
with the
he's on his
trenches.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. He'll take a couple big boy hits, I think, and he'll maybe think twice about the way he plays.
And he might cry after he loses his first game like he did in college.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Hey, I mean, the Bears Packers rivalry. It's just,
Oh, of course.
it's
Of
just,
course.
oh,
I
I've
asked my
had,
cousin. My cousin's a Packers fan. He lives in Jersey, but he's a Packers fan. And I asked him. I said, "Who's out of your division?" I said, "Who's the team you hate the most?" And he's no hesitant, straight up
Bears.
Bears. Yep.
It's like some of my posts on Twitter. I'd be like, who's so and so and so, and why is it the Bears? No, it's funny. I've had Cowboys fans on, and I've had Bears fans, and I'm not. This is like all like jokingly. First question I ask them, I'm gonna be like, so do you still own a VCR to watch the highlights from your?
I mess with my cousin. He's a couple years younger than me. He lives down here, and his dad's a big Cowboys fan. And last year, he took us to a Cowboy Giants game in Dallas, and greatest time ever. First time to Dallas, beautiful area.
Mm-hmm.
Stadium was phenomenal. You know,
Yeah,
he makes it fun. Jerry Jones, one thing about him, he definitely makes it fun. So I always mess with my cousin though, and I tell him, I said, growing up, I've seen my team win 2 rings. You were born 96. You didn't see your team win a Super Bowl. And his response to me always is, I don't think I'll ever see a Cowboys win in my lifetime.
yeah. I
Oh,
mean, one thing, the Packers have more wins in the playoffs in Jerry World than the Cowboys do.
mhm.
But you go back to the '90s, and it was just the Cowboys were just the thorn in our side. We couldn't seem to beat them in Dallas
I mean,
at
that was
all.
that was pre-salary cap though. That's when
Yeah,
Jerry Jones was paying the big bucks to get them players.
yeah. And now that things are on an even playing field, it's kind of different. But well, even in Green Bay, for the longest time, I can remember that Green Bay, it was like the ultimate home field advantage. Green Bay in the middle of winter, frozen tundra, this and that, and the last probably 5, 6, 7 years, I can remember Michael Vick coming to Lambeau and just torching the Packers
Oh yeah.
or like the Niners. I mean, right now it's like the Vikings and the Niners are our biggest rival because they're the ones that the Niners have gotten us out of the playoffs the last how many years,
Well,
you
no, the
know?
Niners have Rodgers' number. They don't
Yeah,
have besides last year with Jordan Love. I mean, that was his first year, in the
yeah,
playoffs. But the Niners have Rodgers' number. Rodgers,
yeah,
I don't think will ever be able to beat the Niners.
yeah. This is like just random thought came into my head too. Situations where the game was on the line with Rodgers and he had to run like 5, 6, 7 yards, and he didn't because they would have caught him. I always think, well, if that was Love, he would have ran and gotten it. Instead of Rodgers tried to trust his arm, he threw like an interception or he incomplete pass. Just some of I don't know. This is just a random thought, but yeah, the Niners do have Rodgers' number, and it was very very hard knowing going into a game that chances are we're going to get our asses kicked.
Yeah.
And even back when Kaepernick had 182 yards or whatever it was rushing against us, that was just back in those days. They were our rival too because they kept on knocking us out of the playoffs.
Mhm.
You don't have to worry about the Bears knocking us out. We've beaten them. How many years in a row? We've won like 10 straight
Yeah.
against them. So I mean, that's I wouldn't call the Bears a rival. Once they start winning a few games, then maybe you can call it a small rival, but
Nah,
it's not like it used to be.
The Packer owns the Bears. Sorry. Packers owns the Bears.
What are your top 5 NFC teams?
So, number 1, you're going to be surprised about. And I got to go Lions.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I got to go Lions. Number 2, I definitely still got San Fran up there. Even though with the Ayuk situation, I definitely got San Fran up there. Number 3, I'm going to go with, I hate to say it, but the Eagles. They definitely got better than they did last year. I mean, Saquon Barkley addition was huge for them. They don't have to rely on Jalen Hurts running the ball as much now. They have a reliable running back. I mean, he is injury prone, but he does have a better situation. And then 4 and 5, man, it's really a toss up. It really is. It really is a toss up. I mean, I see the Packers sneaking in at 4, depending on the situation, with the playoffs and how the wild card works. Obviously you have your division winner from the other one, but I don't see any clear cut 4 and 5. I mean, you have the Packers, you have the Cowboys, depending on their situation. I mean, they have They have Rico Downey. They have an old, Zeke. All they have is Dak and CD. I don't see anyone really making that top 5 cut besides the Packers.
Right. Do you think they retain CD Lamb?
Yeah, they need to pay him. They don't pay him, it'd be the worst move in history
Yeah.
for the Cowboys.
Do you think they pay Dak?
Who else out there better? Let's be honest. Who's better?
Yeah,
There's
at
no
some
one.
point though, you're not gonna be able to keep all these guys around.
No, you're not.
You're gonna have Dak, CD, and Micah.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to pay that
And
corner.
me personally, I'm paying Micah. I'm paying CD. And it just all depends on who's in the draft next year if they want to pay Dak or not.
Yeah, just get an average quarterback that can throw the ball and read his defense. Maybe they can get our backup quarterback, Sean Clifford. Hey, he looked good though when he did come in and play. He drops back, makes his reads, and he has a bullet pass. So I mean, because we drafted that Michael Pratt, so he looks like he's going to beat him out for the Packers.
If they don't retain Dak and they want to go this route, I mean, they can go Shedeur Sanders if they really wanted to.
Yeah, they could. That'd be right up their alley too.
Exactly.
And they could hire Dion for their head coach.
I mean, I think Mike McCarthy's out this year anyways, whether they do good or not. But
yeah. How do you think the NFC North ends up this year? I have Green Bay, Detroit, Minnesota, and Chicago.
Yeah, I think so.
I just think we're showing with us going to Detroit last year, and they beat us at home. We beat them at home, and I think that was a good rebound for us.
Sorry.
It's okay. I have 5 kids of my own, man. It's no worries.
My son. Honestly, I think the Lions take the division.
Yeah.
I think the Packers come in second, and then it's a toss-up. I mean, I just don't trust J.J. McCarthy. I mean, the only thing he's good for is, the long balls. He has no accuracy. I mean, I could be surprised. I mean, I don't know. And then Caleb Williams, like I said, I mean, I just don't see him being successful this year. I mean, maybe next year if they bring some more O-line help in.
Right. Got a couple comments. People sent us comments here.
Yeah. The Sports Addict Network. All I got to say about the Sports Addict Network, if you follow his plays, you're going to win some money. He's always a guaranteed win. Always a guaranteed win.
I'll have to think of that. Got one more here from Eli Love is nice to hear. I think that came in when we were talking about Eli Manning.
Yeah. I don't know if that's implying that he's a Giants fan or
no. This guy's a Packers fan.
Oh, okay.
I had him on a few weeks ago. He's a big Packers fan.
Okay.
Sergeant Todd Friedel. But yeah, I think the NFC is going to be. We just need a team to beat the Chiefs. To represent the NFC, I'm just sick of seeing the Chiefs. Do
you think they three-peat?
I don't think so. I don't think they do. I'm just trying to think of some of the other AFC teams that.
My sleeper AFC team would be the Bengals, to be honest with you. I know they got issues with T. Higgins, but that offense is still powerful.
Didn't they sign him to a 1-year contract?
Yeah, he signed a franchise tag.
Yeah. See, I was saying last year during the season that I could see Justin Jefferson going to the Bengals to play with Carson Palmer, not Carson Palmer, with Joe Burrow, because they were college teammates at LSU. But Jefferson signed that contract with the Vikings, so I don't see him being happy in Minnesota at all. He got the money, but he ain't gonna get the balls.
I mean, there's a reason why he signed the contract. I mean, whether is he comfortable with the situation? Is he happy? I don't think J.J. McCarthy would be Kirk Cousins. by all
Right.
means, I don't think that will happen.
But they have Sam Darnold too.
And I mean, you to draft a quarterback with the 9th overall pick, I can't see Sam Darnold starting over JJ McCarthy.
Yeah.
I
I
just
see
don't see that
the
happening.
I see the Falcons doing good this year too,
Yeah, I like the Falcons.
with a
I
decent
like the
quarterback.
Falcons. Mm-hmm.
I don't see the Buccaneers doing anything with Baker, even though they came into Green Bay and beat us last year. Was it in Green Bay that came, or was it in Tampa? Anyway, I know that the Packers defense has this thing of making like mediocre quarterbacks look like they're standouts, But who what do you think Deshaun Watson's going to do this year?
Complete bust.
Yeah,
I
I
don't.
think
I don't. I think
he's
he's
on the
done.
decline. He's
Yeah, I think
done.
he's done.
He he messed around and found out.
Yeah, he's definitely. I mean, when you don't play football for almost close to 3 years, I mean, it's just nothing. Nothing you can really do about it. I mean, you're not if you're training that okay, you're training, but you're not getting that live action that you should be, and it's just hard to come back from something like that.
Yeah, his wasn't his injury pretty gruesome, or not gruesome, but like wasn't like his ACL or what was it?
No, he got suspended for the.
He got suspended, but I thought he got hurt too.
I don't know. I'm not sure if he got hurt, but I know he got suspended for a year, and then when they traded him, he missed 11 games. But I think the year before he got suspended, he might have been hurt towards the end of the season.
I think he something with his shoulder. I thought it was. I don't remember. Let me. He had shoulder surgery on his throwing arm in November.
Before he got suspended.
In November, the injury Watson suffered is very uncommon in football. It's mostly seen in baseball players. So,
Oh, this past year.
yeah, I don't know. I don't wish him well at all. So, I think he's come.
Yeah, I don't think he. I mean, the team might be good. I mean, that defense is still ranked, top defense, but I don't
Yeah,
think that offense can keep up with scoring and points.
right. Well, I'm gonna do a couple more questions and wrap it up because my dogs are going absolutely berserk upstairs. My kids are supposed to be watching them, but whatever. What hobby would you get into if time and money weren't an issue?
Definitely streaming video games,
Yeah,
no matter what it is. I mean, sports games, Fortnite, anything. I just between working, wife, 2 kids, it's just so hard to even. I mean, I gotta wait till 10:30 to even play a little bit if I decided to play. It's just so
yeah.
hard, but definitely streaming video games.
Okay. What fictional place would you most like to go to?
Ooh. One of my all-time favorite movies was Space Jam, the original.
Okay.
Definitely visit Looney Tunes. Definitely.
I probably go to Bikini Bottom.
Yeah, that's another good one. Yeah, I like that one.
Oh, let me see here. What state or country do you never want to go back to?
I've never really had a bad experience anywhere.
Okay.
That's really a hard one to choose. Now, people-wise, I mean, I just came from Nashville a couple weeks ago with my wife. We went out there for her birthday. If you hate people, do not go. Just put it that way.
Yeah, I've never been to Nashville, but I would say for me, only country I've ever been out of the country I've been to Canada, and I had fun there.
Yeah, I was just saying, I've been to Lebanon, where my family's originally from, and I had a blast. I mean,
Yeah,
there's nothing, nothing bad happened.
the bad experience in Illinois is just the crazy ass drivers. I mean, I think I'm going fast, going 75, 80, and they just go flying by me. It's like, wow.
Hmm. That's same
Okay.
here. I mean, I'm in the left lane doing 80. Got cars coming past me in the middle lane doing 90, 100. I'm like, okay, by all
Yeah.
means, go for it.
Have fun. Let me see here. I'm looking at my list. What takes up too much of your time?
Work. Pays the bills, though. Definitely pays the bills.
Yeah, that's a good answer. So what my guest last night said, work.
Well, the thing about it is, me and my family, we own 4 restaurants here in Florida.
Okay.
It's called St. Mary's Seafood. And, obviously, being part of the family, you're going to work, more than regular employees. But it's just, even on my days off, I'm getting 8, 9, 10 phone calls, which I don't have a problem with by all means. It's just, I'm never really off. That's where I'm looking for. Never really off.
Right. And that's understandable too. It's you got to look out for your companies, for your stores, or your restaurants, because you're looking out for your family and looking out for your employees.
Yep.
Making sure they're taken care of. 2 more. How often do you people watch?
So, me and my wife, we always have this thing. When we go out of town, we always compare people that we know back home to the people that that are around us. Like if we'll go to a restaurant, we'll start comparing people like, oh, that looks like my cousin, or that looks like, a friend of ours, So we're very not judgmental in a bad way, but like to the point to where, we're always like, keeping our eyes everywhere and always comparing people just to have fun, to laugh, man. It's short. Life's too short not to laugh,
Right, for sure. I like to people watch too, just to see how the people act and kind of see what's going on around you. And last question, then I'll let you go. I got to get up to my dogs and my kids, and before the house burns down. What's the best single day on the calendar?
Any day that we're closed at the restaurant, that's all the major holidays. Those are the best days.
Okay.
But nah, if I had to honestly pick, it'd be Christmas. The gifts for my kids that me and my wife buy, and then the gifts that Santa bring for the kids. The excitement on their face. Just alone.
Right.
It's just a beautiful thing.
Absolutely. Yeah, having 5 kids and seeing the look on their face when they open up their gifts, and there's like a certain vibe that's with like Christmas when you have all together with your family, and very cool.
Oh yeah, and don't forget about the food.
Yeah. Oh God, the food and the food coma.
Yeah, I want to sleep for 3 days after eating.
All right, Earl George, appreciate you being on tonight.
Of
If I
course.
ask you, I'll have to get you some dates for later on if you'd ever want to be on. You want to get closer to football season,
Yeah, let me know.
preseason. I'll hit you up and give you some open dates and see what you got going on. And where can people find you at on social media?
So I'm on Twitter at Hot Take City 904. I have a Facebook, but not really active on it. And then that's about it.
All right. Well, again, thank you, and have a good rest of your night. And go Pack, go.
Go Giants.
All right. Later, man.
Later.